So we are starting the chapter 8, that is microbes in human welfare. Besides macroscopic plants and animals, microbes are the major components of biological systems on this earth. You have studied about the diversity of living organisms in class 11th. Do you remember which kingdom among the living organisms contain microorganisms? Which are the ones that are only microscopic? Microbes are present everywhere, in soil, water, air, inside our bodies and that of other animals and plants. They are present even at sites where no other life forms could possibly exist. Sites such as us deep inside the geysers, that is thermal vents, where the temperature may be as high as 100 degrees Celsius. Deep in the soil, under the layers of snow several meters thick and in highly acidic environments. These are the possible places of microbes. ठीक है यहाँ प्रेजेंट हो सकते हैं. Microbes are diverse protozoa, bacteria, fungi and microscopic animal and plant viruses, viroid and also prions that are proteinaceous infectious agents. कौन है proteinaceous infectious agents? Are prions. Some of the microbes are shown in figure 8.1 and 8.2. Microbes like bacteria and many fungi can be grown on nutritive media to form colonies. Microbes like bacteria and many fungi can be grown on nutritive media to form colonies that can be seen with naked eyes. Such cultures are useful in study on microorganisms. यहाँ पे डायग्राम दिया हुआ है, ठीक है, वायरसेस का 8.2 में, जिसमें फर्स्ट दिया हुआ है बैक्टीरियोफेज, जिसमें फर्स्ट हेड है, फिर कोलार है, फिर टेल है, फिर प्लेट है, फिर पिंस है, फिर प्रॉन्स है. माइंड में ऐसे पिक्चर बना सकते हो, ठीक है, पिक्टोरियल इमेजिनेशन. सेकंड जो दिया हुआ है ग्रीन कलर में सर्कल्स के अंदर ऐसा रेक्टेंगल है थोड़ा हाफ, वो है एडेनोवायरस विच कॉज रेस्पिरेटरी इन्फेक्शन का डायग्राम. और थर्ड दिया हुआ है रोड शेप्ड टोबैको मोसेक वायरस मैग्नीफाइड अबाउट 1 लाख to 150,000 x. यहाँ पर कॉम्पैक्ट रोड शेप्ड वायरसेस दिखाए हुए हैं. और सेकंड डायग्राम जो दिया हुआ है 8.1 में, मीन्स फर्स्ट वाला जो डायग्राम, उसमें बैक्टीरिया का है जिसमें फर्स्ट रोड शेप्ड है, जिनको मैग्नीफाइड किया गया है 1500x तक. सेकंड डायग्राम है स्पेरिकल शेप्ड मैग्नीफाइड, वो 1500x तक. और थर्ड जो है सी वाला है रोड शेप्ड बैक्टीरिया शोविंग फ्लैजिला मैग्नीफाइड अबाउट 50,000x. ठीक है, बैक्टीरियम दिया हुआ है, फ्लैजिला दिखाई दिए और रोड शेप्ड बैक्टीरिया बताया हुआ है. और 8.3 में दिया हुआ है कॉलोनीज ऑफ बैक्टीरिया शोविंग और ग्रोविंग इन ए पैट्री डिश, ग्रोविंग इन ए पैट्री डिश. और बी में दिया हुआ है फंगल कॉलोनी ग्रोविंग इन ए पैट्री डिश. क्लियर है डायग्राम, ठीक है. In chapter 7, you have read that microbes cause a large number of diseases in human beings. They also cause diseases in animals and plants. But this should not make you think that all microbes are harmful. Several microbes are useful to man in diverse ways. Some of the most important contributions of microbes to human welfare are discussed in this chapter. We are going to read the topic microbes in household products. You would be surprised to know that we use microbes or products derived from them every day. A common example is the production of curd from milk. Microorganisms such as lactobacillus and other commonly called lactic acid bacteria, that is LAB, grow in milk and convert it to curd. During growth, the lactic acid bacteria, that is LAB, produce acids that coagulate and partially digest the milk proteins. A small amount of curd added to the fresh milk as inoculum or starter contain millions of LAB, that is lactic acid bacteria, which at suitable temperatures multiply, thus converting milk to curd, which also improves its nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12. Again, I am repeating that A small amount of curd added to the fresh milk as an inoculum or starter contains millions of lactic acid bacteria that is left, which at suitable temperatures multiply, thus converting milk to curd, which also improves its nutritional quality by increasing vitamin B12. कौन सा विटामिन? विटामिन B12. Clear? In our stomach too, the lactic acid bacteria lab play a very beneficial role in checking disease-causing microbes. The duff, which is used for making foods such as dosa and idli, is also fermented by bacteria. Idli and dosa किससे ferment होता है? By bacteria. The puffed up appearance of duff is due to the production of CO2 gas. कौन सी gas? CO2 gas. Can you tell which metabolic pathway is taking place resulting in the formation of CO2? क्या आप बता सकते हो कौन सा metabolic pathway है वो जो रिजल्ट करता है फॉर्मेशन ऑफ CO2 में? कौन सा cellular respiration is the metabolic pathway that produces CO2? ठीक है, clear? Answer. Where do you think the bacteria for this fermentation comes from? क्या आप बता सकते हो कि बैक्टीरिया जो फर्मेंटेशन के लिए आते हैं वो कहाँ से आते हैं? कैन यू टेल मी द आंसर ऑफ दिस? दैट इज द बैक्टीरिया कम फ्रॉम द एनवायरमेंट सच एज द एयर, यूटेंसिल्स एंड इंग्रेडिएंट्स. ठीक है, वहाँ से आते हैं. सिमिलरली द डफ विच इज यूज्ड फॉर मेकिंग ब्रेड इज फर्मेंटेड यूजिंग बेकर्स यीस्ट, दैट इज सैक्रोमाइसिस सर्विसिया. Becker's yeast किसे कहते हैं? Saccharomyces cerevisiae. A number of traditional drinks and foods are also made by fermentation by the microbes. A number of traditional drinks and foods are also made by fermentation by the microbes. Toddy, a traditional drink of some part of the southern India, is made by fermenting sap from palm. कौन सी? टोडी. ट्रेडिशनल ड्रिंक है कहाँ की? सदर्न इंडिया की ट्रेडिशनल ड्रिंक है. इज मेड बाय फर्मेंटिंग सैप फ्रॉम पाम्स. माइक्रोब्स आर ऑल्सो यूज्ड टू फर्मेंट फिश, सोयाबीन एंड बैम्बू शूट्स टू मेक फूड्स. चीज इज वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट फूड आइटम इन विच माइक्रोब्स वेयर यूज्ड. चीज इज वन ऑफ द ओल्डेस्ट फूड आइटम इन विच माइक्रोब्स वेयर यूज्ड. Different variety of cheese are known by their characteristic texture, flavor and taste. The specificity coming from the microbes used. ठीक है, the specificity coming from the microbes used. For example, the large holes in Swiss cheese are due to the production of large amount of CO2 by a bacterium named Propionibacterium bacterium Shermani. Clear? कौन सा बैक्टीरिया है? For example, the large holes in Swiss cheese are due to the production of large amount of CO2 by a bacterium named Propionibacterium Shermani. The Roquefort cheese are ripened by growing a fungi on them, which gives them a particular flavor. ठीक है, clear? जो स्विस चीज़ होता है उसमें जो large amount of CO2 production of large amount of CO2 is by a bacterium named Propionibacterium Shermani. और रॉकफर्ट चीज में जो राइपन होता है by a growing a specific fungi on them. फंगी से रिलेशन है रॉकफर्ट चीज का. ठीक है, which gives them a particular flavor प्रोवाइड करती है वो फंगी. नेक्स्ट इज microbes in industrial products. Even in industry, microbes are used to synthesize a number of products valuable to human beings. Beverages and antibiotics are some examples. Production on an industrial scale require growing microbes in a very large vessels called fermenters. Production on an industrial scale requires growing microbes in very large vessels called fermenters. ठीक है, next is fermented beverages. Microbes, especially yeast, that is especially yeast, have been used from the time immemorial for the production of beverages. Clear? Microbes, especially yeast, have been used from the time immemorial for the production of beverages like wine, beer, whiskey, brandy, or rum. For this purpose, the same yeast, that is Saccharomyces cerevisiae, used for bread making and commonly called brewer's yeast, is used for fermenting malted cereals and fruit juices to produce ethanol. ठीक है, brewer's yeast is used for fermenting malted cereals and fruit juices to produce ethanol. क्या प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए? एथेनॉल प्रोड्यूस करने के लिए. ठीक है, एथेनॉल. Do you recollect the metabolic reaction which result in the production of ethanol by yeast? That is known as fermentation. Am I right? करेक्ट आंसर बताया ना मैं. ठीक है, हाँ सही बताया. Depending on the type of the raw material used for fermentation and the type of processing, with or without distillation, different types of alcoholic drinks are obtained. ठीक है, depending on the type of raw material used for fermentation and type of processing, with or without distillation, different types of alcohol drinks are obtained. Wine and beer are produced without distillation, whereas whiskey, brandy and rum are produced by distillation of the fermented broth. The photograph of a fermentation plant is shown in the figure 8.5. ठीक है, पिक्चर बताया हुआ है. वाइन एंड बियर आर प्रोड्यूस्ड विदाउट डिस्टिलेशन. जो वाइन और बियर होती है वो विदाउट डिस्टिलेशन से प्रोड्यूस होती है, और जो विस्की, ब्रांडी और रम होती है वो डिस्टिलेशन के प्रोड्यूस होती है. ठीक है, आर प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय डिस्टिलेशन ऑफ द फर्मेंटेड ब्रॉथ. ठीक है, क्लियर. नेक्स्ट टॉपिक इज एंटीबायोटिक्स. Antibiotics produced by microbes are regarded as one of the most significant discoveries of the 20th century and have greatly contributed towards the welfare of the human society. Anti is a Greek word that means against and bio means life. Together they mean against life in the context of disease causing organism, whereas with reference to human being they are pro-life and not against. Antibiotics are chemical substances which are produced by some microbes and can kill or retard the growth of other disease-causing microbes. Antibiotics are chemical substances which are produced by some microbes and can kill or retard the growth of other disease-causing microbes. Clear? You are familiar with the commonly used antibiotic penicillin. Do you know that penicillin was the first antibiotic to be discovered and it was a chance discovery? Alexander Fleming, while working on a Staphylococcus bacteria, once observed a mold growing in one of his unwashed culture plates around which Staphylococcus could not grow. Alexander Fleming, while working on Staphylococcus bacteria, once observed a mold growing in one of his unwashed culture plate around which Staphylococcus could not grow. Clear? He found out that it was due to the chemical produced by the mold and he named it penicillin after the mold, that is Penicillium notatum. He found out that it was due to a chemical produced by the mold and he named it penicillin after the mold Penicillium notatum. However, its full potential as an effective antibiotic was established much later by Ernest Chen and Howard Florey. Full potential किसने दिया है? Ernest Chen and Howard Florey. This antibiotic was extensively used to treat American soldiers wounded in World War II. कौन से वर्ल्ड वार में? सेकंड. Fleming, Chen and Florey were awarded the Nobel Prize in 1945 for this discovery. इस डिस्कवरी के लिए इन्हें नोबेल प्राइज दिया गया है 1945 में. ठीक है, जो एंटीबायोटिक यूज की थी अमेरिकन सोल्जर के वाउंड्स को ट्रीट करने के इन वर्ल्ड वार सेकेंड. ठीक है. सो द नेक्स्ट, that is, after penicillin, other antibiotics were also purified from other microbes. After penicillin, other antibiotics were also purified from other microbes. Can you name some of the antibiotics and find out their sources? So let's proceed further. Antibiotics have greatly improved our capacity to treat deadly diseases such as plague, whooping cough, that is kali khasi, diphtheria, that is gal ghotu, and leprosy, that is kusht rog, which used to kill millions all over the globe. Today we cannot imagine a world without antibiotics. Antibiotics have greatly improved our capacity to treat deadly diseases such as plague, whooping cough, that is kali khasi, diphtheria, that is galgotu, and leprosy, that is kusht rog, which used to kill millions all over the globe. Next topic is chemicals, enzymes, and other bioactive molecules. Microbes are also used for commercial and industrial production of certain chemicals like organic acids, alcohol, and enzymes. Example of acid producers are Aspergillus niger, that is a fungus of citric acid. Acetobacter aceti, that is a bacterium of acetic acid. Clostridium botuliscum, that is a bacteria of butyric acid, and lactobacillus, a bacteria of lactic acid. ठीक है. Acid producer are Aspergillus niger, that is a fungus of citric acid. Acetobacter aceti, that is a bacterium of acetic acid. Clostridium botuliscum, a bacterium of butyric acid, and lactobacillus, a bacterium of lactic acid. Clear? Yeast Saccharomyces cerevisiae is used for commercial production of ethanol. इथेनॉल के प्रोडक्शन में भी यूज़ की जाती है यीस्ट. कौन सी वाली? Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Microbes are also used for production of enzymes. Lipases are used in detergent formulations and are helpful in removing oily stains from the laundry. कौन यूज़ किए जाते हैं? Lipases are used in detergent formulations and are helpful in removing oily stains from the laundry. कहाँ से ऑयली स्टेन को हेल्प करती है? लॉन्ड्री. ठीक है, इन लॉन्ड्री में हेल्प करती है. ठीक है, क्लियर? यू मस्ट हैव नोटिस्ड दैट bottled fruit juices bought from the market are clearer as compared to those made at home. This is because the bottled juices are clarified by the use of pectinases and proteases. किसके यूज से? By the use of pectinases and proteases क्लैरिफाई कर दी जाती है, वो इसलिए क्लियर दिखता है. Streptokinase produced by the bacterium Streptococcus and modified by genetic engineering is used as clot buster for removing clots from the blood vessels of patients who have undergone myocardial infarction leading to heart attack. Streptokinase produced from the bacterium. कहाँ से प्रोड्यूस होता है Streptokinase? बैक्टीरिया से. Streptococcus and modified by genetic engineering is used as clot buster for removing clots from the blood vessels of patients who have undergone myocardial infarction leading to heart attack. ठीक है, Streptokinase bacterium produced by the bacterium Streptococcus. Streptokinase किससे प्रोड्यूस होते हैं? Streptococcus से, and modified by genetic engineering as used as clot buster. ठीक है. Next proceeding, another bioactive molecule cyclosporin A that is used as immunosuppressive agent in organ transplantation patient. ये स्लो इसलिए चल रहे हैं क्योंकि यहाँ से श्योर शॉर्ट क्वेश्चन पक्का आना ही आना है. Another bioactive molecule cyclosporin A that is used as immunosuppressive agent in organ transplantation patients is produced by the fungus Trichoderma polyspum. किस फंगस से प्रोड्यूस होते हैं? Trichoderma polyspum. Statin produced by the yeast. Statin किससे प्रोड्यूस होता है? यीस्ट से. Statin produced by the yeast Monococcus purpureus have been commercialized as blood cholesterol lowering agent. It acts by completely inhibiting the enzyme responsible for synthesis of cholesterol. ठीक है, starting produced by the yeast Monoscus purpureus have been commercialized as blood cholesterol lowering agent. blood cholesterol lowering agent कौन है? Monoscus purpureus. ठीक है, स्टेटिन किससे प्रोड्यूस होती है? स्टेटिन प्रोड्यूस्ड बाय द यीस्ट दैट इज मोनास्कस पर्परस. क्लियर? इट acts by competitively inhibiting the enzyme responsible for synthesis of cholesterol. ठीक है, it acts by competitively inhibiting the enzyme responsible for synthesis of cholesterol. Clear? Next is microbes in sewage treatment. We know that large quantities of wastewater are generated every day in cities and towns. A major component of this wastewater is human excreta. This municipal wastewater is also called sewage. It contains large amount of organic matter and microbes, many of which are pathogenic. Have you ever wondered where this huge quantity of sewage or urban wastewater is disposed of daily? This cannot be discharged into the natural water body like rivers and streams directly. You can understand why. Before disposal, hence sewage is treated in sewage treatment plant, that is STPs, to make it less polluting. Treating of wastewater is done by the heterotrophic microbes naturally present in the sewage. Clear? Treatment of wastewater is done by the heterotrophic microbes naturally present in the sewage. This treatment is carried out by the two stages. First is primary treatment. ठीक है, जैसे हम पढ़ रहे हैं primary treatment. This treatment steps basically involve physical removal of particles large and small from the sewage through filtration and sedimentation. किसके थ्रू? फिल्ट्रेशन एंड सेडिमेंटेशन के थ्रू साफ करना चाहते हैं. ठीक है, वो आते हैं प्राइमरी ट्रीटमेंट. दिस ट्रीटमेंट बेसिकली इन्वॉल्व फिजिकल रिमूवल ऑफ पार्टिकल लार्ज एंड स्मॉल फ्रॉम द सीवेज थ्रू द फिल्ट्रेशन एंड सेडिमेंटेशन. दिस आर रिमूव्ड इन स्टेजेस. इनिशियली फ्लोटिंग डेब्रिस is removed by sequential filtration. These are removed in stages. Initially, a floating debris is removed by sequential filtration. Then the grit, that is soil and small pebbles, are removed by sedimentation. जो soil और small pebbles होते हैं grit are removed by sedimentation. All solids that settle from the primary sludge and the supernatant forms the effluent. All solids that settle from the primary form the primary sludge and the supernatant forms the effluent. ठीक है, सॉलिड फॉर्म करता है प्राइमरी स्लड्ज एंड सुपरनेट फॉर्म करते हैं effluent. ठीक है, द effluent फ्रॉम द प्राइमरी सेटलिंग टैंक इज टेकन फॉर सेकेंडरी ट्रीटमेंट. सो द नेक्स्ट इज वी आर गोइंग टू रीड सेकेंडरी ट्रीटमेंट ऑफ और बायोलॉजिकल ट्रीटमेंट. सेकेंडरी ट्रीटमेंट को ही कहते हैं बायोलॉजिकल ट्रीटमेंट. द प्राइमरी एफेल्यूएंट इज पास्ड इनटू लार्ज एरिएशन टैंक वेयर इट इज कॉन्स्टेंटली एजिटेटेड मैकेनिकली एंड एयर इज पम्प्ड इनटू इट. दिस अलाउस विगरस ग्रोथ ऑफ यूजफुल aerobic microbes into flocs. Flocs are the masses of bacteria associated with the fungal filament to form mesh-like structures. Clear? Again I am repeating that this allows vigorous growth of useful aerobic microbes into flocs. Flocs कहते हैं, flocs किसे कहते हैं? Masses of bacteria associated with the fungal filament to form mesh-like structures. While growing, these microbes consume the major part of the organic matter in the effluent. This significantly reduces the biochemical oxygen demand, that is BOD, of the effluent. Biochemical oxygen demand, that is BOD, refers to the amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all the organic matter in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. बैक्टीरिया की जगह चेंज करके फंगी कुछ भी कर सकता है, बट करेक्ट है were oxidized by bacteria. It is correct. Again I am repeating that BOD refers to the amount of oxygen that would be consumed if all the organic matter in 1 liter of water were oxidized by bacteria. The sewage water is treated till the BOD is reduced. जब तक BOD कम नहीं होता है तब तक उसे ट्रीट किया जाता है, जब तक उसकी BOD कम नहीं हो जाती है. The biochemical oxygen demand BOD test measures the rate of uptake of oxygen by microorganisms in a sample of water and thus indirectly BOD is a measure of the organic matter present in the water. क्या है indirectly? BOD is a measure of organic matter present in the water. The greater the BOD of wastewater, more is its polluting potential. The greater the biochemical oxygen demand of wastewater, more is its polluting potential. जितनी ज़्यादा उसकी BOD वैल्यू होगी, ठीक है, उतनी ज़्यादा उसकी polluting potential होगी. ठीक है. Once the BOD of sewage or wastewater is reduced significantly, the effluent is then passed into a settling tank where the bacterial flocks are allowed to sediment. This sediment is called activated sludge. ठीक है. This sediment is called activated sludge. A small part of the activated sludge is pumped back into the aeration tank to serve as inoculum. ठीक है. The remaining major part of the sludge is pumped into large tank called anaerobic sludge digesters. ठीक है. Here other kinds of bacteria which grow anaerobically digest the bacteria and the fungi in the sludge. During this digestion, bacteria produce a mixture of gases such as methane, hydrogen, sulfide and carbon dioxide. सल्फाइड को चेंज करके यहाँ पर सल्फाइड भी दे सकते हैं, PHITE, बट करेक्ट है सल्फाइड, PHIDE. ठीक है. During this digestion, bacteria produces a mixture of gases such as methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. ठीक है. वो कंबाइंड है जो बताया अभी, हाइड्रोजन सल्फाइड, ठीक है, एंड कार्बन डाइऑक्साइड. These gases form biogas and can be used as source of energy as it is inflammable. During this digestion, bacteria form a mixture of gases such as methane, hydrogen sulfide and carbon dioxide. These gases form biogas and can be used as source of energy as it is inflammable. The effluent from secondary treatment plant is generally released into natural water bodies like river and streams. An aerial view of such a plant is shown in the figure. ठीक है. The effluent from the secondary treatment plant is generally released into the natural water bodies like rivers and streams. डायग्राम दिया हुआ है यहाँ पे एरियल व्यू ऑफ सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट प्लांट का. ठीक है, देख लेना. You can appreciate how microbes play a major role in treating millions of gallons of wastewater every day. Millions of gallons of wastewater every day across the globe. This methodology has been practiced for more than a century now in almost all parts of the world. Till date, no man-made technology has been able to rival the microbial treatment of sewage. Till date, no man-made technology has been able to rival the microbial treatment of sewage. You are aware that due to increasing urbanization, sewage is being produced in much larger quantities than ever before. पहले से ज़्यादा क्वांटिटी में प्रोड्यूस हो रहा है सीवेज. However, the number of sewage treatment plants has not increased enough to treat such large quantities. ठीक है, उतने ज़्यादा सीवेज ट्रीटमेंट वाटर प्लांट नहीं. क्लियर? So The untreated sewage is often discharged directly into the rivers, leading to their pollution and increasing waterborne diseases. The Ministry of Environment and Forest has initiated Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan. ठीक है? Ministry of Environment and Forest has initiated Ganga Action Plan and Yamuna Action Plan to save these major rivers of our country from pollution. Under these plans, it is proposed to build a large number of sewage treatment plants so that only treated sewage may be discharged in the rivers. A visit to a sewage treatment plant situated in any place near you would be a very interesting and educating experience. लेके नहीं गया कोई, क्या जाएंगे, कहाँ से विजिट करेंगे भाई साहब. Next topic is microbes in production of biogas. Biogas is a mixture of gases containing predominantly methane, produced by the microbial activity and which may be used as fuel. You have learned that microbes produce different types of gaseous end products during growth and metabolism. This type of the gas produced depend upon the microbes and the organic substance they utilize. Clear? Again I am repeating that biogas is a mixture of gases containing predominantly methane produced by the microbial activity and which may be used as fuel. You have learned that microbes produce different types of gaseous end products during growth and metabolism. The type of the gas produced depends upon the microbes and the organic substance and the organic substrates they utilize. In the example cited in relation to fermentation of dough, cheese making and production of beverages, the main gas produced was CO2, that is carbon dioxide. However, certain bacteria which grow anaerobically on cellulosic material produce a large amount of methane along with CO2 and H2. However, a certain bacteria which grow anaerobically on cellulosic material produce large amount of methane along with CO2 and H2. These bacteria are collectively called methanogens, and one such common bacterium is methanobacterium. These bacteria are commonly found in the anaerobic sludge during sewage treatment. These bacteria are commonly found in the anaerobic sludge during sewage treatment. These bacteria are also present in the rumen, a part of the stomach of cattle. A lot of cellulosic material present in the food of cattle is also present in the rumen. A lot of cellulosic material present in the food of cattle is also present in the rumen. In rumen, these bacteria help in the breakdown of cellulose and play an important role in the nutrition of cattle. Clear? Do you think we human beings are able to digest the cellulose present in our foods? Thus, the excreta, that is dung of cattle, commonly called gobar, is rich in this bacteria. Dung can be used for generation of biogas, commonly called gobar gas. Biogas, commonly called gobar gas. The biogas plant consists of a concrete tank that is 10 to 15 feet deep. फीट की जगह मीटर कर सकते हैं, सेंटीमीटर कुछ भी चेंज कर सकते हैं, बट करेक्ट है 10 to 15 feet deep. The biogas plant consists of a concrete tank that is 10 to 15 feet deep, in which biowaste are collected and a slurry of dung is fed. A floating cover is placed over the slurry, which keeps on rising as the gas is produced in the tank due to the microbial activity. The biogas plant has an outlet which is connected to a pipe to supply biogas to nearby houses. The spent slurry is removed through another outlet and may be used as fertilizer. स्लरी कैसे यूज हो सकती है? फर्टिलाइजर की तरह. Cattle dung is available in large quantity in rural areas where kettles are used for a variety of purposes. So, biogas plants are more often built in rural areas. The biogas thus produced is used for cooking and lighting. The picture of a biogas plant is shown in the figure 8.8. ठीक है, टिपिकल बायोगैस प्लांट का डायग्राम दिया हुआ है. नीचे टैंक है, डाइजेस्टर, फिर उसके ऊपर है टैंक, वहाँ से गैस निकली हुई है उसके ऊपर से. यहाँ पर गैस होल्डर दिया हुआ है, डाइजेस्टर के ऊपर एक तरफ स्लड्ज है और एक तरफ टंग वाटर है. ठीक है. द टेक्नोलॉजी ऑफ बायोगैस प्रोडक्शन was developed in India mainly due to the efforts of Indian Agricultural Research Institute, that is IARI, and Khadi and Village Industries Commission KVIC. IARI and KVIC. ठीक है. Technology of biogas production was developed in India mainly due to the efforts of Indian Agricultural Research Institute IARI and Khadi and Village Industries Commission, that is KVIC. If your school is situated in a village or near a village, it would be very interesting to inquire if there are any biogas plants nearby. Visit the biogas plants and learn more about it from the people who are actually managing it. ठीक है. Next topic is microbes as biocontrol agents. Clear? Microbes as biocontrol agent. Biocontrol refers to the use of biological methods for controlling plant diseases and pests. Methods for controlling plant diseases and pests. In modern society, these problems have been tackled increasingly by the use of chemicals, by use of insecticides and pesticides. ठीक है. Again, I am repeating that biocontrol refers to the use of biological method for controlling plant diseases and pests. In modern society, this problem have been tackled increasingly by the use of chemicals, by insecticides and pesticides. These chemicals are toxic and extremely harmful to human beings and animals alike, and have been polluting our environment, that is soil, groundwater, fruits, vegetable and crop plants. इनको क्या कर रही है? पॉल्यूट कर रही है. ठीक है. Our soil is also polluted through our uses of weedicides to remove weeds. Our soil is also polluted through our use of weedicides to remove weeds. ठीक है. उससे भी पॉल्यूट होता है. Next is biological control of pests and disease. In agriculture, there is a method of controlling pests that relies on natural predation rather than introduced chemicals. A key belief of the organic farmer is that biodiversity further health. A key belief of the organic farmer is that biodiversity furthers health. The more variety a landscape has, the more sustainable it is. The organic farmer therefore works to create a system where the insects that are sometimes called pests are not eradicated but instead are kept at manageable levels by a complex system of checks and balances within a living and vibrant ecosystem. Contrary to the conventional farming practices, which often use chemical methods to kill both useful and harmful life forms indiscriminately, this is a holistic approach that seeks to develop an understanding of the webs of interaction between the myriad of organisms that constitute the field fauna and flora. The organic farmers holds the view that the eradication of the creatures that are often described as pests is not only possible but also undesirable, for without them, the organic farmers holds the view that the eradication of the creatures that are often described as pests is not only possible but also undesirable, for without them the beneficiary, predatory and parasitic insects which depend upon them as food or host would not be able to survive. Thus, the use of biocontrol measures will greatly reduce our dependence on toxic chemicals and pesticides. An important part of the biological farming approach is to become familiar with the various life forms that inhabit the field, predator as well as pest, and also the life cycles, patterns of feeding, and the habitats that they prefer. An important part of the biological farming approach is to become familiar with the various life forms that inhabit the field, predator as well as pest, and also their life cycles, patterns of feeding, and the habitats that they prefer. This will help develop appropriate means of biocontrol. The very familiar beetle with red and black markings, the ladybird, and dragonflies are useful to get rid of aphids and mosquitoes respectively. Important line है, the very familiar beetle with red and black marking, red and black marking चेंज करके कुछ भी कर सकता है बट करेक्ट है red and black marking, the ladybird and dragonflies are useful to get rid of aphids and mosquitoes respectively. ladybird किसके लिए है? aphids के लिए, और dragonfly मॉस्किटोज के लिए, जिसे याद रख सकते हो लेडी LA से आता है तो एफिड्स लेडी के लिए, ड्रैगन्स में आता है D तो D के बाद DMs मीन्स मॉस्किटोज से रिलेशन. An example of microbial biocontrol agents that can be introduced in order to control butterfly caterpillars is the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis, often written as BT. An example of microbial biocontrol agent that can be introduced in order to control butterfly caterpillars is the bacteria Bacillus thuringiensis, often written as BT. These are available in sachets as dried spores which are mixed with water and sprayed onto vulnerable plants such as brassicas and fruit trees. Brassicas and fruit trees, where these are eaten by the insect larva. किनके द्वारा eaten किया जाता है? By insect larva. In the gut of the larva, the toxin is released and the larva get killed. The bacterial disease will kill the caterpillars but leave other insects unharmed. Because of the development of the methods of genetic engineering in the last decade or so, the scientists have introduced B. thuringiensis toxin genes into the plant. Such plants are resistant to attack by insect pests. Bt cotton is one such example which is being cultivated in some states of our country. You will learn more about this in chapter 10. चलो यहाँ से एक बार और रिपीट कर देता हूँ, ठीक है. These are available in sachets as dried spore which are mixed with water and sprayed into vulnerable plants such as brassicas and fruit trees, where they are eaten by the insect larva. In the gut of the larva, the toxin is released and the larva gets killed. The bacterial disease will kill the caterpillars but leave other insects unharmed. Because of the development of methods of genetic engineering in the last decade or so, scientists have introduced B. thuringiensis toxin genes into the plant. Such plants are resistant to attack by insect pests. Bt cotton is one such example which is being cultivated in some states of our country. A biological control being developed for use in the treatment of plant disease is the fungus Trichoderma. Trichoderma species are free-living fungi that are very common in the root ecosystem. कौन से वाले में? रूट ecosystem. कंफ्यूज के लिए शूट ecosystem कर देगा यहाँ पे, बट आपको ध्यान देना है बारीकी से. करेक्ट है, रूट ecosystem. They are effectively biocontrol agents of several plants pathogen. Again I am repeating that paragraph. A biological control being developed for use in the treatment of plant disease is the fungus Trichoderma. Trichoderma species are free-living fungi that are very common in the root ecosystem. Free-living fungi that are very common in the root ecosystem. They are effective biocontrol agents of several plant pathogens. Clear? आ गया समझ? ठीक है. Again I am repeating that once again. Trichoderma species are free-living fungi that are very common in the root ecosystem. It इट इज ट्रू स्टेटमेंट. ठीक है. They are effective biocontrol agents of several plant pathogens. Clear? Next is baculoviruses are pathogens that attacks insects and other arthropods. कौन सा वायरस? Baculovirus are pathogens that attacks insect and other arthropods. The majority of the baculoviruses used as biological control agents are in the genus Nucleopolyhedrovirus. These viruses are excellent candidates for species-specific, narrow-spectrum insecticidal applications. Baculoviruses are pathogens that attack insects and other arthropods. The majority of baculoviruses used as biological control agents are in the genus Nucleopolyhedrovirus. The viruses are excellent candidates for species-specific, narrow-spectrum insecticidal application. They have been shown to have no negative impacts on plants, mammals, birds, fish or even on non-target insect. ठीक है? Have no negative impact on plant, mammal, bird, fish or even non-target insects. This is especially desirable when beneficial insects are being conserved to aid in an overall integrated pest management, that is IPM, integrated pest management program, or when an ecological sensitive area is being treated. Clear? आ गया समझ? Next is microbes as biofertilizers. With our present day lifestyles, environmental pollution is a major cause of concern. The use of chemical fertilizers to meet the ever increasing demand of agricultural produce has contributed significantly to this pollution. ठीक है? Of course, we have now realized that there are problems associated with the overuse of chemical fertilizers and there is a large pressure to switch to organic farming. The use of biofertilizers. The biofertilizers are organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. कौन है biofertilizers? Are organisms that enrich the nutrient quality of the soil. The main source of biofertilizers are bacteria, fungi and cyanobacteria. ठीक है? BFC से याद रख सकते हो. The main source of biofertilizers are bacteria, fungi and cyanobacteria. You have studied about the nodules on the roots of leguminous plants formed by the symbiotic association of rhizobium. These bacteria fix atmospheric nitrogen into organic forms, which is used by the plant as nutrient. You have studied about the nodules on the roots of leguminous plants formed by the symbiotic association of rhizobium. These bacteria fix atmospheric nitrogen into organic forms, which is used by the plant as nutrient. Clear? Our other bacteria can fix atmospheric nitrogen while free living in the soil. Example, Azospirillum and Azotobacter, thus enriching the nitrogen content of the soil. Again I am repeating that. ठीक है? The main source of biofertilizer are bacteria, fungi and cyanobacteria. You have studied about the nodules of the roots of leguminous plant formed by the symbiotic association of rhizobium. These bacteria fix atmospheric nitrogen into organic forms. यहाँ पे चेंज करके inorganic कर सकता है, but correct है organic forms, which is used by the plants as nutrient. Other bacteria can fix atmospheric nitrogen while free living in the soil. Example, Azospirillum and Azotobacter, thus enriching the nitrogen content of the soil. Fungi are also known to form symbiotic association with plants, that is mycorrhiza. ठीक है? Many members of the genus Glomus form mycorrhiza. Again I am repeating that. Fungi are also known to form symbiotic association with plants, that is mycorrhiza. Many members of the genus Glomus form mycorrhiza. The fungal symbiont in this association absorbs phosphorus from soil and passes it to the plant. The fungal Symbiont in this association absorbs phosphorus. क्या absorb करता है? Phosphorus from the soil and passes it to the plant. Plants having such association shows other benefit also, such as resistance to root-borne pathogen, tolerance to salinity and drought, and an overall increase in plant growth and development. Can you tell what advantage the fungus derive from this association? फंगस को क्या एडवांटेज मिलता है, ठीक है, इस एसोसिएशन से? कैन यू टेल मी दैट? ऑफ कोर्स, दैट इज fungi gain many advantages from this association with plants, including access to the nutrients, shelters and food. ये उसको एडवांटेज मिलते हैं, ठीक है? क्या क्या? न्यूट्रिएंट, शेल्टर एंड फूड. Cyanobacteria are autotrophic microbes widely distributed in aquatic and terrestrial environments, many of which can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Example: Anabina, Nostoc, Oscillatoria, etc. Cyanobacteria are autotrophic microbes widely distributed in aquatic and terrestrial environment, many of which can fix atmospheric nitrogen. Example: Anabina, Nostoc, Oscillatoria, etc. सुन रहे हो? नींद तो नहीं आ रही है, ठीक है? In paddy fields, cyanobacteria serve as an important biofertilizer. Blue-green algae also add organic matter to the soil and increases its fertility. Blue-green algae also adds organic matter to the soil and increases its fertility. Currently in our country, a number of biofertilizers are available commercially in the market, and farmers use this regularly in their field to replenish soil nutrients and to reduce dependence on chemical fertilizers. Clear? Next is summary. We are going to read in a speedy way. Microbes are very important components of life on earth. Not all microbes are pathogenic. Many microbes are very useful to human beings. We use microbes and microbial derived products almost every day. Bacteria called a lactic acid bacteria, that is LAB, grow in milk to convert it into curd. The duff which is used to make bread is fermented by yeast called Saccharomyces cerevisiae. Certain dishes such as idli and dosa are made from duff fermented by microbes. Bacteria and fungi are used to impart particular texture, taste and flavor to cheese. Microbes are used to produce industrial products like lactic acid, acetic acid and alcohol, which are used in a variety of processes in the industries. Antibiotics like penicillin produced by useful microbes are used to kill disease-causing harmful microbes. Antibiotics have played a major role in controlling infectious diseases like diphtheria, whooping cough and pneumonia. ठीक है? Antibiotics have played a major role in controlling infectious diseases like diphtheria, whooping cough and pneumonia. For more than 100 years, microbes are being used to treat sewage, that is wastewater, by the process of activated sludge formation, and this helps in recycling of water in nature. Methanogens produce methane, that is biogas, while degrading plant waste. Methanogens produce methane gas, that is biogas, while degrading plant waste. Biogas produced by microbes is used as source of energy in rural areas. Biogas produced by microbes is used as source of energy in rural areas. Microbes can also be used to kill harmful pests, a process called as biocontrol. The biocontrol measures helps us to avoid heavy use of toxic pesticides for controlling pests. There is a need these days to push for use of biofertilizers in place of chemical fertilizer. It is clear from the diverse uses human beings have put microbes to that they play an important role in the welfare of human society. With this, we completed the chapter. Thank you for hearing. सुनने के लिए आपका धन्यवाद. आपने यहाँ तक सुना है तो आई होप कि चैप्टर आपके दिमाग में घुसा है. एक दो बार और सुन लेना तो चैप्टर टिप्स पे आ जाएगा। ठीक है।